We're going to take a look at taking web pages and converting them to PDF now. This is, I think, a little used feature that allows you to convert any web page to a PDF for the most part and preserve it so that you can look at it forever, basically. So the web is constantly changing, and sometimes you're going to want to capture things that may be gone next week. So after this, you'll be able to convert them. You'll also be able to grab just selections of web pages and convert them and easily create a PDF that is savable for later on. Now, in Windows Internet Explorer, we're only on the Windows platform this time, in version 6 or 7, when you install Acrobat, you get two buttons, the Convert button and the Select button in Acrobat 9. Now, the Convert button allows you to simply take any web page and convert it to a PDF file that you choose the location of. Select allows you to select a portion of a web page and convert that to a PDF as well. Now, I have Windows Internet Explorer 7 open here, and I've got adobe.com, which is a great example because they actually have links, pop-up menus. They also have a nice section out here where there is a big flash piece. Great thing about converting a web page to a PDF is it preserves the integrity of the multimedia, meaning the movies play, which is great. So the links also work, so you can actually treat it sort of like a web page. To convert a file with the web page open, typically what I do is instead of clicking the Convert button, click the arrow to the right of the Convert button. You'll see all your options. Convert web page to PDF, add web page to existing PDF, print it, convert it in email. So you've got a lot of things you can do here. Now, if you convert a web page to a PDF, you'll be able to easily see the result afterwards because of this setting right here. It's turned on by default. There are preferences we can set just like almost any PDF that you generate. Choosing preferences, you can see that we've got some different things we can do here with the web page conversion settings. Now, I didn't mention the Mac platform on this, simply because you can't do this within the browser. But from within Acrobat, you can create a PDF from a web page, and I will show you that when we get to Acrobat. These settings are coming from Acrobat, and we're just kind of looking at them as a quick tip here to see what we can do. When it converts, it's going to convert to HTML. We can convert straight to text instead of HTML, so maybe you're trying to get content. You can just choose text. We're going to create bookmarks. This is a great thing. It's going to create a little table of contents for us that we can just click and go to every page. It's going to add headers and footers, and sometimes I really find those get in the way. That's like the actual web address, what page number it is, etc. You can turn that on and off. It's going to create tags. This is great for readability and searchability later on. Click on the Page Layout tab up top, and you'll see that we can change the size of the page. You can pick any page you'd like. Change the margins, how far it pushes in. Right now, you can see the default margins here, pushing in all four sides. You can change the orientation if the page itself happens to lend itself to landscape, let's say, like this one does. You can also scale it to fit the content. So if it's too wide, it'll auto-fit within the PDF page. So just a couple things you can do. Typically, you try it out, see if it works. If it doesn't, you can come back in here and try a different setting. Click back on the General tab. And there's one button I kind of glossed over here, but I want to show you this. The Settings button takes you further. If you click on the Settings button, you can go in and do things like change your encoding, which I wouldn't suggest unless it's a different language, something like that. You can change the text. You can change the font size. So if you're creating a PDF out of a web page and you find the web page hard to read, you can make it a bigger font size if you want to. You can change the colors. You're going to kind of get rid of the design that the designer had in mind, but you can change the links, the text, etc. You can also tell it not to include or to include any multimedia which is supported within Acrobat. QuickTime movies, flash files, things like that. That's all going to be embedded. If you don't want the background, that can save time. You can turn that off. If you don't want to convert images, you can turn those off as well, and you'll just get the text. That's if you're just trying to get the content. And any links are going to be underlined if you keep this on. So I'll click OK. I could have clicked cancel. I really didn't change anything in here. You can click OK to that, and we're going to convert this. By clicking the Convert button, it's going to capture the whole web page. It's going to ask you where you'd like to save this. I'll put this on the desktop. You can save it with any file name you want and save it out there. It saves it as a PDF. Once it captures it, you're going to see the capture dialog here. It's going to go through the process. It should open up within Acrobat. Now, I told it to fit the page. I tried a couple different things there. You can see there's a white border around this because it's fitting, and there's headers and footers. You should also notice this Manage Trust for Multimedia Content. Acrobat's got a built-in security feature which basically makes it so that if you try and play multimedia within a PDF, it'll prevent you. It'll actually ask you if you want. So I'll just click play to this. And if you take a look, you'll be able to see that the flash content out here should start, and it looks just like the web page. Now, the great thing about this too is that anything that was a link inside of the original web page is going to be a link in the PDF. There are certain things that are not going to translate effectively. Things like pop-up menus. It does a great job just getting the top-level links out here, so you can click and go to those. Any fields out here are still fields, so you can still utilize them. Now, if you click on a link, I want to show you this. Hover a cursor over one of the links and you'll see a little W usually. That means it's going to open up that link in the web browser. Now, if you right click, you'll see it says you have a choice. Open web link in browser. You can append it to the document, which means when I click on the link, go out to the web, capture the page, and add it to the second page to this document, or third, whatever it happens to be, or open it as a brand new PDF file. You can also copy the link location. So what I'd like to do is instead of opening it in the browser, I'm going to click Append to Document. That's going to go through and capture the page itself, the next page, download it here, convert it to PDF, and attach it as a separate page. So we'll be able to see that in just a second here, and there it is. Now, on the left, what happened was my bookmarks popped out. You should be able to see those. If they did not show up, you can click the bookmarks icon. These bookmarks are generated automatically so that you can click and go between each one of the pages in the document. Now, the interesting thing about this is you can take this, and I do this all the time. I'll go to clients, and I need to see what they do before I train them or before I do some consulting for them. I'll capture the web page, and I'll actually read it on the plane. So it's a nice, easy way to kind of go through that. If you want to, you can drill down far here and capture a lot of these things. But I want to show you this. Go back to the first page, and the link you just clicked on to capture that page, when you right-clicked on it, if you hover over that same link, you'll see it says Communities up here. You'll no longer see a W. What Acrobat does is turns that into an internal link when you click. So if you click, you just simply go to the second page. So it's going to actually internalize all these features for you. I can't say this enough, and I don't want to reiterate things, but this is an excellent feature for being able to preserve data for later on. Now, when you capture the pages, like I said before, we have the ability to do this from multiple sources. On the Mac platform, if you come under the Create button, this is just one other way to do this, you'll be able to see PDF from web page. So Mac platform can do this as well. If you choose that option, what it does, it simply comes up with a dialog box here that you type in the URL you want to capture. And if you want to capture and set settings for it, you'll see the settings button right here. Those are the same settings we saw out in Internet Explorer. You could also browse for a file. And if you want to capture multiple levels out here, you can click Capture Multiple Levels. It'll ask you if you want to grab multiple levels, if you want to grab the entire site, which, hey, I'm not going to suggest that, but you could, especially not adobe.com. Stay on same path means follow the same web path, kind of get it in, and stay on same server won't go out to other servers if there's a link to another website, let's say that's on a different server. So once you click Create, that should also do the same thing. It should download the status here and allow us to do this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just one more thing. It's available on the Windows platform. It's the ability to capture parts of a page. So I'm going to go out here and stop this. What I want to do is I'm going to go back out to the web browser. I'm out to lynda.com, and I've got the last Acrobat title I did here. What I did was I wanted to recreate this table of contents, flesh it out, add the new things, etc., but I needed a copy of the table of contents. So using Internet Explorer 7 and 6, you can do this. We have a new Select tool in here. It's enhanced, I should say. So if you click the Select tool, this allows us to come out, and you'll be able to see that as you move your cursor around the web page, it's going to show you these boxes. What it's trying to do is it's trying to follow the way the content is structured. So if I find what I'd like, I can click, it'll put a box around it, and will only convert that to PDF. You can add different areas as well. So I can add a bunch of different areas if I want to. I can shift click. I can also drag. So I could come up here and shift click on that area, and it would capture it as well. Makes you a little dizzy after a while. Now I'm going to convert. So coming up to convert here, you'll be able to see there's a pop-up menu. It'll say convert web page right there. So I'll convert it. It's going to go out. I'll click save. It's going to convert it for me. Once again, it's going to come over to Acrobat. If you take a look, it's only going to capture the content that I selected. This is excellent for being able to capture parts of the page, especially if you're trying to just capture something like movie listing or something like that. So this is perfect for what I had to do. So learning to actually create PDFs from a browser or from a web page is, I think, one of the more underused features in Acrobat. And by understanding how they're created, the different things, the different settings involved, you can create a PDF from the browser no matter what.